Hello everyone, welcome to... Wait. Where does the sound come from? I'm just starting a video, come on. Wait! Is this what I think it is? Yes, it is! DevPro works! Woo! Let's turn up the sound for a bit. Where is it? Nope. That one. Alright, DevPro, it works, yes. As in the attempt to find an alternative to Dueling Network, I downloaded DevPro again. Last time I used it was probably about a year ago and don't exactly remember. But then I, for whatever reason, couldn't connect to the servers, couldn't find any opponents, so I didn't really get anywhere. I need to actually make a move. So let's see if I can do this. Well, doing the commentary, let's destroy a bunch of stuff. Last sphere. Certainly an interesting deck. Wow. Anyway, DevPro worked. Last time I used it was about a year ago. I didn't use it all that much. I generally use it for some decks that I wanted to learn, like some new decks, new archetypes, and I just didn't really know how to play them. Like with some decks, I think Cosmo was among the Monarchs. Yeah, Monarchs is a good example. Quite quickly, I figured out how to play Monarchs. I didn't know every combo like right off the bat. However, it was quite clear how to play a lot of the combos and how the Monarchs were powerful. I could get the hang of it quite easily. So I just did that on DN. But there were some other decks and archetypes that I just did not know how to play. Dragon Ruler, for example, when during its prime, I did not know how to play Dragon Ruler at the start when I started playing the deck. So I did that on DevPro because it just tells me when I can activate grave effects. Like sometimes I didn't remember. It tells me when I can activate field effects. And the automatic part of that did really help out. So that is what I went with. At one point, as I said, I couldn't connect to the servers anymore, so I just didn't use it for a while. Then a month later, it still didn't work. So I just eventually deleted. I decided to just delete DevPro from my computer just to save some space because it just didn't work. But now the Dueling Network is down, I didn't want to find an alternative to make duel videos. And I believe I have found that because I just try to get DevPro back, and even though when I'm on the main screen of DevPro, I believe right here, I still don't see anything here. I don't know why or whatever, but I can play against a DevBot. I can join ranked, or although I never actually found an opponent doing ranked when I tried earlier. I've played a good amount, a few unranked matches. Here's my record for the moment. But yeah, DevPro does work. I do still have 2 pre-recorded matches. 2 pre-recorded Dueling Network duels, so those duels will go up before any DevPro duels. However, now that DevPro does work, I will once those 2 Dueling Network duels have gone up, I will just do DevPro duels. They'll look a bit different, and they'll play a bit differently. I noticed, especially with playing Cosmo, I played Fire King Cosmo earlier, and just the way the chainlink's built, and sometimes you have to force an activation of Tin Can in the end phase with an always chain. And sometimes being the manual thing the DN is, you can just state, I want to use this effect or that effect. Because even though I know, after an effect has resolved, you don't immediately go to an open game state. Therefore, you can't only use one of Tin Can's effects. Sometimes I know that it's the case, but I don't remember, and then I activate the wrong effect. Because there's only one legal activation at the time, so that's what DevPro has you do. Wow, shit, I'm almost out of time. Summon. I'm just gonna summon anything. So get some time back. No. No. Attack. Didn't have time left. I was talking. No. Normal chain. So okay, won that duel. Now I can talk. Yeah, I have 2 Dueling Network duels left. After that, the duel videos will be on here, on DevPro. What then? Deck profiles still be on DevPro. deck requests, just like the Duel videos, they'll be on DevPro. Rulings with Alka videos, I generally needed to improvise something during the videos, even though I can set something up. And DevPro, I don't. It's a lot more difficult to set ruling scenarios up, so I don't think I'll be able to continue that, or at least it'll be a lot more difficult because I can just tell you how the ruling works, but to visualize it and just do something on the field, like on DN, that definitely works. And sometimes I need to explain multiple things in a video. I needed to do things that aren't allowed in a duel, like search multiple cards without a card effect that allows it, summon 3 monsters, just to explain the ruling. So that's on a hiatus for now. I don't know when rulings without will be back, unless it's like a really simple ruling, then I can, I suppose, explain it. I'll continue working on deck requests. Some of the decks I will unfortunately have to rebuild because I didn't copy all of the decks from DN. BLS, like the creator of DN, is trying to find a way to retrieve decks from Dueling Network, but at the moment no such solution has been found yet, but he's looking into it. And what I have done is, when I was on that other server that I recorded the last 4 Duel videos on, well, other server, the one that somehow did still work, I took screenshots of a lot of decks that I wanted to save. Like 6 of them will come up in just a moment when it would load. Don't know why it's taking so long. But some of my favorite decks, like Constellar, like as you can see here, my Constellar deck I saved. Like this is the real life deck where I just check what I have in real life and not just keeping the white cancel in between. I just need these 4 from main deck to complete that. Took screenshots of that. A Chamber deck I wanted to keep. This is my Cosmo deck, which you just saw me use. That like pre-Dark Planet, but also pre-Fire King Island and TCG. I have my Monarch deck. I have my old Fairy Stun deck, which I still have to edit. Woohoo! Look at the deck profiles, and then my old Gravekeepers deck. Because I didn't want to preserve that, even though I'm not going to use it in this form anymore, because Gravekeepers with the new support just became a lot better. But yeah, I have this, and sorry, I have, I believe, 10 more decks that I had like built but never used yet, and I wanted to make a dual video with them. Digital Bug is among them. That was actually deck request. Raid Raptor, the ABC Dragon Buster deck I copied, even though I did already make a video with that on Duel Network. I like 10 of those decks, and then I believe also the Gem Slime Token deck I did. So there's 21, no 6, 10, 1, 17 decks that I copied over. Some for competitive, some for fun, I suppose. So some of the deck requests, like the Digital Bug, I will, and Inca was among them as well. I will be able to just do them here on DevPro, which is really good because then that doesn't have me rebuild, retest. So that's good. So I can do that. Some of the decks I will have to rebuild, as I said. So, but I don't think you'll have to wait all that long for the deck requests to continue because I still have quite a long list. And recently I got for the time quite a large amount of new deck requests. So I still have a lot remaining. I have my notebook here in which I write all of them down. I do want to try to get through them quickly. I don't want to be too quick on all of them because then I feel the deck won't be as good as it could be. I do want to give it the time to properly be able to test them, but I have nearly like an A5 page with on every line a deck request written down. Like sometimes they don't work. I just can't find a proper deck. Barely ever happens, but sometimes it does, and then I just skip it or just put it in a hiatus and do it later, like I've done with some of them. But I do want to get through them because this way people will have to wait multiple months for their deck request to actually be completed, which I suppose they eventually do get it, but sometimes they make a deck request for that specific format, and I do want to actually do it for that specific format. So yeah, I'll try to, especially now that it's holiday for me. Yesterday was my final day in internship. Already finished college for the year. I can work more on these deck requests, so I'll try to get them out. And have the deck request wait time not be multiple months, but maybe like a few days or 2 weeks or so. That I feel is a lot better. But yeah, the main thing I wanted to, I talked a bit more like about a few different things because just I like talking, and just giving you information about various topics. But the main thing is, I have DevPro. DevPro works, and I can face other people with it. So Duel videos will continue. They won't be called like DN duels anymore. They'll be called DevPro duels in the title. But that's really the only thing that will change. I intend to continue with like the numbering. I think the last duel was 385 because like ABC was. I did ABC in one other deck. There were 282 and 283. Like Ritual Pendulum, 383. Then I have 384, 385 as the final two DN videos. And then the first DevPro one will just be DevPro Duel 386, even though it's the first DevPro Duel. I'll just continue with the numbering. I feel that does work because the way then I have a list. I'll just show you. I suppose I'm not sure if I've ever showed it. I've mentioned it a few times. I know that. I have a Word file in which I've saved all of the decks I've used in which in the order that I've used them, the amount of times I've used all of them, and in which duel videos. Like here, I've used Gravekeepers 3 times in duels 1, 18, and 38. Fusion of 4 times in 3, 32, 371, and 374. It was also the 6th deck profile video that I did. If it's a deck request, I write it down. Sometimes when I'm like, okay, I know I used Dark World Exodia before, but in which duel was that? Then, if I just use this list, then it might take a while to find. So generally I just type it on YouTube, search it on YouTube, and then find the lowest number, and then go from there. But yeah, there's a bunch of decks that I just have here. Keep track of that. So if I continue with the numbering, it's a lot easier for me to also know which decks I've used a lot and not much. Like sometimes I look at this and I'm like, okay, I've used some of these decks like 2 or 3 times already. I haven't used, let's say, the Prophecy deck multiple times. Let's just use that to keep a bit more variety in there. And sometimes I just look back at like the first or second page and I'm like, I feel like using the Red Hieratic deck. Maybe I need to change it a little bit to fit the Forbidden Limited list, but then I'll use that because I feel like using an older deck. That is how I use this. And I'll continue with the numbering. I'll continue putting it in the same playlist. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh videos are still here. As I already said that I would continue them even if Deanna was down and DevPro didn't work. But I'm very happy, and I know many of you will as well, that the duel videos will return after DN. 2 more DN videos to come, and then it is DevPro duels. Deck requests are back, deck profiles are back. I can do all of those on DevPro. I hope you really like this news because probably that's why you subscribe for all the Yu-Gi-Oh videos. So, yeah, I'll see you in tomorrow's daily Yu-Gi-Oh video. Goodbye.